Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday evening, and let's see, today is the 10th. It's 10/10/21. I'm making this video today. Yesterday, I took played hooky yesterday from just about all the jobs. My husband and I decided to go out and spend a day together where neither of us had to worry about priorities or work. And I took some of that advice from the reading that I had the other night, and I made some memories. We went out to eat, and then we played miniature golf, which we haven't done in a really long time. There's a pirate miniature golf place about an hour from us, and so we went and had some fun and did that, and just really enjoyed ourselves, and kind of felt like we got a chance to relax. Like I said, we hadn't had a chance to do that for a while. So I did want to come on here and say again, welcome to everybody who's new to the channel. Thank you for subscribing, all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. And I love reading what you have to say, good or bad. I really, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It is what it is. So I did want to say, for a lot of us that are doing readings on situations that are as intimate as Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, as well as Crystal and Kalin, these are our opinions. These are what we see when we look at things or hear things, or it's all our interpretation, which I thought was a really good way of putting it. We don't have the answers, all of them. We'd love to have the answers. It would be great if they could tell us, but there's still free will in place, and I think people forget that. So as long as there's free will in place, things can always change. I did a really long reading the other night that involved Crystal and Kaylee, and it is such a, I can't even tell you the energy that comes through when you get a chance to be surrounded by that energy. It is very intense, but just this very loving, pure energy. And I've said this before, but I know that several other readers are having this experience with them, and it's not just me that feels this. It's almost like the two energies of Crystal and Kalin have combined, and there's no ill intent. There's no vengeance, there's no anger, there's nothing like that. It is this just absolute pureness that you feel when you read that. I had a really hard time disconnecting from it the other evening. Afterwards, it was like it became very personal to me just reading that. And so it was hard for me to take a step back and go, okay, this is not my energy. So I need to separate from that as well. So yeah, so that does happen. The same with Gabby Petito. Gabby is just this bright light that comes through. And the energy is not... They're not vengeful. They're, if anything, she has become this bright light, this beacon for helping. And she knows the first thing that's got to happen is to find Brian. He's a lost person. He's, and I don't just mean that he's missing, because of course he is, but he is a lost soul. Every reading of his energy now comes up very scattered, very hard to understand. Misdirectional is the word that I keep getting. You know, like he's this way and then he's that way and then he's back and forth. And I still struggle over whether he's in the mountains or the ocean. And I did a reading on it earlier, and it didn't tell me anything. It was Gabby coming through. So a lot of times I think that she's almost very protective, but she does understand that he needs to be found. So, all right, so we're going to move forward today. I'm going to do Crystal and Kaylee first, and we'll take that energy from here. So let's see. I'm going to use this is my sacred shamans. Oh, goodness. Here, let's put those back in there. I am working on a way so you'll be able to see the cards. So that is coming, but I held out every piece of equipment I had. I couldn't make it work today. So it is coming. I did clean my office, however. Cards are just... I'm not taking a whole bunch at once. All right, so I'm not focused yet. Kaylee and Crystal. Okay. So there's been talk about 3 suspects. I'm not going to turn that over yet. There are 3 suspects. One of them being Brian. And I want to know if Brian has had any contact with them. Do you, Crystal and Kylen, did Brian have any contact with you? Did your path cross with Gabby and Brian? Or just Brian? It's funny, those cards are not doing what they were doing before. Crystal and Kalin, are you there? Yep, they're there. Did you have contact? Any known contact? They may not have been able to recognize that. Did you have contact with him? I feel like no. I just feels like no. Head games. To me, this represents the fact that people are trying to put things together that don't go together. The card I had originally drawn for them was Ancestral Wisdom and Lay of the Land, but it's reversed. They're still finding their way. But they're... So they're still finding their way. This, I get that this Brian thing, there is people just trying to piece things together that may not necessarily go together. So I would say that he didn't. Did Brian have anything to do with your death, your passing? Did Brian have anything to do with your passing? Do you know if Brian had anything to do with your passing? Okay, what's that? Do you know what happened with your passing? Rest and renewal. So they're not visiting that right now, it says rest and renewal, Garden of Venus. They're going through a rest and renewal right now. Did John Holt, who was the person who was escaped and now caught, Was John Holt involved in your death? In your passing? I'm sorry. I hate to bring that up. Was John Holt involved with your passing? I'm going to put it as passing. I don't feel like they want to talk about that. I feel like they want to talk about something else, but surrender, giving into it. See, now the energy that I get says something to the effect of, we don't want to focus on how they died. They want to focus on the message that is being given. So let's do this. All right, I have to ask about the one other person, and that is the suspect who was caught and released in Colorado. Wow. Who was caught and released in Colorado with all of the weapons. Is he, and I don't know his name, I don't want to know his name. Is he the one that's involved? They know who I'm talking about. Crystal and Kalin, was that person in Colorado the one that was involved? I get 2. And I get South. Crystal and Kalin is the man that killed you, the creepy man you spoke of. See, they're talking, they don't want to talk about it. They want to talk about where they are now and what their goal is now, which is a new beginning. Their preparations came to fruition. I feel like this was always their path to be in this position. This was the life plan, that they would be in this position. As painful as it is, this is an experience. That's why we're here. Magician's sword, confidence in the magic, or the confidence in the belief system, the reason for being here, that they feel is why they were put here, was for this lesson to be taught. You know, can you give us an idea of when your killer, I'm sorry, I hate that, of when the person who harmed you will be caught? When will the person who hurt you be caught? Connectivity. So they have an idea of who it is now, but they're not saying. They're putting the dots together. I feel like it's this gentleman. I use that word. No, not gentleman. This man who was a drifter, who was, I want to say it was around Denver, Colorado, but it may have been north of that. He had a whole cache of weapons. They couldn't get him on anything. He's mentally fractured. He is not thinking clearly. And resonating, and this always comes up with them, resonating. This is something that, it's like sending out a heartbeat. The emotions and energy that they send out is so strong that it's like waves or ripples. And it clearly feels like that with these two. There is sort of an edge of desperation to them. Not, I say desperation. Urgency would be a better word with them right now, in that they feel like the longer the time goes by, the harder it's going to be to find this person. And that's really a big part of it. They know the farther that the more time goes by, the less attention there is to this. And so they need to continue to try and push to get this message out, because that's really important. So, all right, thank you. Thank you, Kylen and Crystal. I'm going to do one more card, and I would like to see a message from them for us. Do you have a message for us? Do you have a message? Dream thief, refusal of the call. People who don't accept what it is that's been around them. Refusal of the call. People not picking up what is needed of them. Is there another card? If this makes sense to you, please put it down below. Let me know. I'm just going with what the energy is that I'm drawing. Kalin and Crystal, do you have rest and renewal? That card came up again. 25 and a 13. All right, so they're saying, you know, rest and renewal, and to heed the call when given it, to reach for that deeper purpose. I'll tell you, these cards, mind games. There are mind games being involved. A distraction of the truth. All right. I'm going to leave that right at there. I feel like the time isn't right, but we're running low on time, if that makes sense. All right. I don't. Okay. So the other thing that I was going to talk about is Brian Laundrie. As I said, his energy is very fractured. And he's a little hard to read because I'm not entirely sure that he's aware of his own reality. All right, so Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie. Is Brian aware of the situation he's in? Is he aware of the urgency of it? My monitor keeps going out. I use that like for the light for backing. All right. Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito. Brian, your energy. Oh, my stomach just pulled right out of me. Bone collector. Bone collector. And magic stream is upside down. Are you near water or mountains? Well, water is thoughts and emotions, and he is upside down on the magic stream. So my guess is he's not really coherent in his own thoughts. Brian, are you in the mountains or near the water? I see trees, dense trees, but that could be both, according if he's hiding out in those parklands in Florida. Brian, are you hiding in the mountains? This is another one that comes up a lot for him, and it's balancing act. And to me, this says water. And this goes to oceans. This goes to but it's all about walking a tightrope. Can you give us an idea if you're in the mountains or near the ocean? Mountains or ocean? This is the the enchanted map that I'm using. Mountains or oceans? There's a lot of cards here. I'm not reading all of those. He's really hard to tap into. All right, Brian, over here. All right, let's try this a little differently, shall we? Gabby, where is Brian? Whoa. Gabby, your energy is so strong. And I know that you are looking over him. Where is Brian? Is he in the mountains or is he near the water? Sad embrace. Commitment. She made a commitment to him and she's seeing it through even from the other side. Making a choice. This was the happiness. This was peaks of joy. That was their relationship at its best. And this is slow and steady, but this really does feel like a wounded heart to me. And she says he's in the mountain. He's making slow and steady progress through a mountain. So, like I said, we can only interpret these cards as we know them. No one has all the answers except for Brian right now, where he is, and Gabby. Solitude. Solitude can be good, solitude can be bad. It's too much of it can really drive you over an edge, and I think that's part of what he's dealing with is being alone for so long now, and that is edging on his thoughts. All right, so the last thing I wanted to do today is talk about, we have Saturn is going direct tomorrow, and Saturn is all about karma. So in the last, it's been in retrograde, so the last bit of time with it has been all about the things that have created a karmic debt in your life. And some of those lessons are easy, some of them are hard. But the thing about a retrograde is it will bring them up until you deal with them. And so that was seriously what this karmic, or this time period, was all about. But now it's going to go direct. I think it's 11/26 tomorrow. It's supposed to go direct. So you're going to see things moving forward. Things will get a little bit easier. If you have taken care of those things that have a karmic debt, then you will find that your life will move faster along in a more positive way. Now, I would caution you to take those things that you learned and put them in a positive light. You know, the thing about losing a job, learning from a mistake, it's to take the good from it, not the bad from it, you know, and understand that everything has a purpose, and to move forward with that. And that's what we're looking for as we go forward with this. Now, we've had, I think, what is this, the third one that's going direct? Maybe it's the second one. I'd have to look at my notes on that one. So yeah, so we have a lot going straight. And on the 18th, we have Mercury finally going direct. So things will definitely feel a lot better after that. I know once Pluto went direct, I think it was Pluto and Jupiter went direct, it definitely felt like it was starting to feel like there was a burden being taken off. And so we are moving forward with that. Let's see, we have a full moon on the 20th that's coming up, and as I said, Mercury is going direct on the 18th. You get a shadow period, usually 3 days to a week in between, something like that, but it'll hit right at that full moon as well. So you're going to be feeling better after the 18th. This has been a kind of a trying time for a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say September was really, really hard for them. And I think a lot of it had to do with so many things being in retrograde. You know, we have been learning so many lessons in the last year that it has felt very, very intense. All right, so let's see. We're going to go with, excuse me, I have, which one is this? Oh, the Light Seers deck. And we're looking for a message to go into our week this week. So what do we need to focus on for our week ahead? What is that thing that we need to focus on moving forward in a positive light? What is the positive message for the week ahead? Positive message for the week ahead. We're going to pull one for our outlook, one for any obstacles that may come up, and the final outcome. Things are moving fast. So in other words, with that retrogrades going forward, of course, we don't have Mercury going forward this week. We've only got well, it's close. It's getting to the end of it. So things are starting to move forward, and they're moving faster than it may have felt like we were slogging before. Things are starting to feel like they're moving forward. So this is any obstacles, and it's sun. And the reason why I'm laughing is because I keep a note on my desk, and I have to pull this up here because I heard what can be a strength can also be a weakness. So for obstacles, I had heard this quote on an MPBN broadcast, and it was they were interviewing an actress, and she said, what if what you think is a weakness is actually your superpower? So it's your ability to shine your light on those things that have been in the dark and move forward with them. So all the obstacles that you've had that maybe you thought were a weakness are actually a strength. And then finally, the Empress. You have it all, baby. You know it all. You have it all. It's all right there within you. You just have to tap into it. That knowledge, that ability to hold your ground and be able to deal with things, you've got that. And like I said, you have the ability to shine the light on those things that are dark, coming out of that karmic debt, so to speak, and it's happening with speed. All right, I want to wish you all the best. I'll probably be on maybe tomorrow. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to be on again next. But I really want to thank everybody for their great thoughts and their great comments. And it's been wonderful. I really, really do appreciate it. And I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy. And I'm sending you blessings from Maine. Bye-bye.